Have you ever woken up after what seemed like a full night's sleep, only to feel just as tired as when you went to bed? Maybe you tell yourself, I'm just getting older. Perhaps your friends say the same thing. Maybe you pour another cup of coffee, hoping it will help, only to find that your energy never really comes back. If that sounds familiar, today's video could change the way you think about morning fatigue. Because here's something many people don't realize. Feeling tired every morning is not always a normal part of aging. While our bodies do change over time, waking up exhausted day after day can sometimes be your body's way of asking for attention. In some cases, the cause is surprisingly simple and easy to improve. In others, it may be an early sign of a health issue that deserves a conversation with your healthcare provider. The good news is that many of the most common causes of morning fatigue can be recognized early. And the earlier you understand what's happening, the sooner you can take practical steps that may help you feel more energetic and enjoy your daily life. Today, we'll explore some of the hidden reasons so many older adults wake up feeling drained. Along the way, you'll learn what your body might be trying to tell you, what simple habits may help, and which symptoms should never be ignored. Be sure to stay until the end, because one of the final reasons is something millions of seniors experience without realizing it, and it's often overlooked during routine checkups. Now let's begin. As we grow older, many changes happen inside the body. Our muscles naturally become smaller if we don't use them regularly. Our sleep patterns shift, hormone levels change. We may take more medications than we did years ago. Chronic health conditions become more common. None of these changes automatically mean you'll wake up exhausted every morning. Many active adults in their 70s, 80s, and beyond still wake up feeling refreshed most days. The difference often comes down to understanding what supports healthy sleep, healthy circulation, balanced nutrition, and overall well-being. Morning energy is like the final result of everything your body did while you were asleep. If something interrupted that process, even without waking you completely, you may start the day feeling as though your battery never fully charged. Think of your body like a smartphone. You plug it in overnight expecting a full charge. But if the charging cable is loose, the battery is old, or several apps are draining power in the background, you wake up with only 30% battery instead of 100. Your body works in much the same way. The challenge is figuring out what's quietly draining your energy. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked causes. Reason number 1. Your sleep may not be as restful as you think. Many people assume that spending 8 hours in bed means they're getting 8 hours of quality sleep. Unfortunately, that's not always true. Sleep isn't just about the number of hours. It's also about how deeply and consistently your brain moves through different stages of sleep. During the night, your body cycles through light sleep, deep sleep, and dream sleep, also known as REM sleep. Each stage serves a different purpose. Deep sleep helps with physical repair. REM sleep supports memory, learning, and emotional health. If these stages are interrupted over and over again, your body misses out on important recovery work. Imagine reading a book while someone interrupts you every few minutes. Even if you spend 2 hours reading, you'll remember very little because your concentration kept getting broken. Your brain experiences something similar when sleep is repeatedly disrupted. Many older adults don't even realize it's happening. You may not remember waking up. You might simply toss and turn briefly before falling asleep again. These small interruptions can happen dozens of times during the night. The next morning, you wonder why you're exhausted. Several factors can interfere with sleep quality. Pain from arthritis, frequent trips to the bathroom, noise, a bedroom that's too warm, stress, certain medications, even eating a heavy meal close to bedtime. One example is Linda, age 72. She proudly told her daughter she was sleeping almost 9 hours every night. Yet, every morning she struggled to get out of bed. After talking with her doctor, she realized arthritis pain was waking her repeatedly throughout the night. Once her pain management plan was adjusted, and she added a few simple bedtime habits, her sleep gradually improved. She wasn't sleeping longer, she was sleeping better. That's an important difference. If you wake feeling tired almost every day, ask yourself a few simple questions. Do you wake several times each night? Do you wake feeling stiff or uncomfortable? Do you need naps every afternoon? Do you often feel sleepy while watching television? These may be clues that your sleep isn't giving your body the recovery it needs. Before we move to the next hidden reason, here's something surprising. Some people sleep quietly through the night, but still aren't getting enough oxygen while they sleep. That condition affects millions of adults and often goes undiagnosed for years. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Reason number 2. Sleep apnea. This is one of the most common yet overlooked causes of morning fatigue. Sleep apnea happens when breathing repeatedly slows down or briefly stops during sleep. These pauses can happen many times each hour. Most people don't remember them. Instead, the brain briefly wakes the body just enough to restart breathing. This can happen dozens or even hundreds of times during one night. The result? Broken sleep, poor oxygen levels, morning headaches, daytime fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and increased strain on the heart over time. Many people think loud snoring is the biggest warning sign. While snoring is common with sleep apnea, not everyone with the condition snores loudly. Some people mainly notice dry mouth in the morning, restless sleep, or overwhelming daytime tiredness. A spouse or family member may notice pauses in breathing long before the person experiencing them does. Consider Robert, age 68. He thought his afternoon naps were simply part of retirement. His wife noticed that he occasionally stopped breathing during sleep before suddenly gasping. After discussing these observations with his healthcare provider, Robert underwent a sleep study. The results showed sleep apnea. With treatment, he gradually noticed more energy during the day and fewer morning headaches. Not everyone who feels tired has sleep apnea, but if you experience loud snoring, choking, or gasping during sleep, morning headaches, or excessive daytime sleepiness, it's worth discussing these symptoms with a healthcare professional. Sleep apnea is important because it doesn't just affect energy. Untreated, it has also been linked with increased risks of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and problems with memory and concentration. That's one reason it's so important not to dismiss ongoing morning fatigue as just aging. Now here's something even more surprising. Sometimes the problem isn't your sleep at all. Sometimes your body simply doesn't have enough fuel to produce energy efficiently. Let's explore that next. Reason number 3. You're not getting the nutrition your body needs. Many seniors eat less than they did years ago. Sometimes that's because their appetite changes. Sometimes it's due to dental problems, medications, living alone, or simply not feeling motivated to cook. While eating less may seem harmless, it can gradually lead to nutritional gaps. Your body needs protein, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates to make energy. Think of food as the fuel your body uses every single day. If the fuel tank stays half empty for weeks or months, your body starts conserving energy. That may show up as constant fatigue. One nutrient that's especially important is protein. Protein helps maintain muscles, repair tissues, support the immune system, and keep you feeling stronger. Many older adults eat very little protein at breakfast. Perhaps breakfast is only toast and coffee, or maybe it's a small bowl of cereal. While these foods can certainly be part of a healthy diet, adding protein may help you feel fuller and support muscle health. Good sources include eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, lentils, fish, chicken, tofu, and nuts, depending on your dietary needs and preferences. Another possible contributor is low iron. Iron helps carry oxygen throughout the body. When iron levels become too low, people may develop anemia, a condition in which the blood carries less oxygen than the body needs. Symptoms can include tiredness, weakness, dizziness, shortness of breath during activity, and pale skin. Vitamin B12 is another nutrient worth mentioning. B12 supports healthy nerves and helps the body make red blood cells. As people age, absorbing B12 from food sometimes becomes more difficult, even if they're eating enough. Low B12 levels can contribute to fatigue, numbness or tingling in the hands and feet, balance problems, and memory changes. Vitamin D also plays an important role in muscle function and bone health. Many older adults have low vitamin D levels, especially if they spend little time outdoors. However, it's important not to start high-dose supplements without discussing them with your healthcare provider, since too much of certain vitamins can also be harmful. One simple habit that may help is taking a closer look at your meals. Are you eating enough colorful vegetables, enough fruit, enough lean protein, enough whole grains? Are you drinking enough water throughout the day? Small improvements made consistently often have a much bigger impact than dramatic changes that don't last. And speaking of water, the next hidden reason behind morning fatigue is something almost everyone overlooks. Many older adults are walking around slightly dehydrated without realizing it. Even mild dehydration can affect energy, mood, concentration, and balance. In the next part of this video, we'll explore why dehydration becomes more common with age, how certain medications may quietly drain your energy, and several other hidden causes that many people never suspect until they finally understand why they feel tired every morning. Let's continue with another hidden reason so many older adults wake up feeling tired every morning. Reason number 4, you're not drinking enough water. When most people think about dehydration, they imagine feeling extremely thirsty on a hot summer day. But dehydration in older adults often looks very different. In fact, many seniors become mildly dehydrated without ever feeling very thirsty. As we age, the body's sense of thirst naturally becomes less sensitive. That means your body may already need water before your brain sends the signal to take a drink. At the same time, many older adults intentionally drink less because they're trying to avoid frequent trips to the bathroom, especially during the night. It's understandable. No one enjoys waking up several times just to use the restroom. But drinking too little during the day can create another problem. Your body simply doesn't have enough fluid to work efficiently. Water is involved in almost every process inside your body. It helps carry nutrients to your cells. It supports healthy blood circulation. It helps regulate body temperature. It keeps joints lubricated. It helps your kidneys remove waste products. And perhaps most importantly for today's topic, it helps your cells produce energy. Imagine trying to wash dishes with only a few drops of water. Everything becomes harder. Your body experiences something similar when it doesn't have enough fluid. Even mild dehydration can leave you feeling sluggish, dizzy, confused, or unusually tired. For older adults, dehydration may also increase the risk of falls because it can contribute to lightheadedness when standing up. Let's look at a common example. Margaret, age 76, often woke up with a dry mouth and felt exhausted before breakfast. She assumed it was simply part of getting older. During a routine visit, her healthcare provider asked how much water she usually drank. After thinking about it, Margaret realized she often drank only 2 or 3 small glasses of water each day because she worried about nighttime bathroom trips. With guidance from her healthcare provider, she gradually shifted most of her fluid intake earlier in the day, while reducing large drinks close to bedtime. Within a few weeks, she noticed she felt more alert in the mornings. Of course, everyone's fluid needs are different. Some medical conditions, including heart failure or kidney disease, require specific guidance about how much fluid is appropriate. That's why it's always important to follow your healthcare provider's recommendations if you've been given fluid restrictions. For many healthy older adults, though, making hydration a daily priority can be a simple step toward better energy. Here are a few practical ideas. Keep a reusable water bottle nearby. Drink a glass of water with each meal. Choose water-rich foods like cucumbers, oranges, berries, melons, tomatoes, and soups. If plain water feels boring, try adding slices of lemon or cucumber for flavor. And don't wait until you feel thirsty. By then, your body may already be asking for help. Now here's something many people don't expect. Sometimes, the very medications that help protect your health can also contribute to feeling tired. That doesn't mean you should stop taking them, but it does mean it's important to understand how they may affect your energy. Reason number 5, medication side effects. Many adults over 65 take several prescription medications each day. This is often called polypharmacy, which simply means using multiple medications at the same time. Many medications are both necessary and beneficial. They help control blood pressure, lower cholesterol, manage diabetes, reduce pain, improve heart health, treat depression or anxiety, help people sleep. These medicines have helped millions of people live longer and healthier lives. However, every medication also has the potential for side effects. Some medications may cause drowsiness. Others may lower blood pressure enough to leave you feeling weak when you stand up. Some can affect sleep quality. Others may interact with another medication in unexpected ways. This doesn't mean the medication is wrong. It simply means that your healthcare provider may need to review whether the dose, timing, or combination is still the best choice for you. For example, certain allergy medications can make people sleepy. Some pain medications may reduce alertness. Certain medicines used for anxiety or sleep may leave lingering grogginess the next morning. Even medications that lower blood pressure can occasionally contribute to fatigue if blood pressure becomes too low. Let's consider George, age 74. Over several years, he had gradually started taking medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, and seasonal allergies. He assumed his growing fatigue was simply another part of aging. During an annual medication review, his healthcare provider discovered that one medication taken late in the evening was likely contributing to his morning grogginess. A small adjustment made under medical supervision significantly improved how he felt. The important lesson is this: never stop taking prescription medication on your own because you're feeling tired. Instead, Schedule a medication review with your healthcare provider or pharmacist. Bring every prescription medication. Include over-the-counter medicines. Include vitamins. Include herbal supplements. Sometimes the answer isn't adding another medication. Sometimes it's carefully adjusting the ones you already take. That's why regular medication reviews become increasingly valuable as we grow older. Now let's move to another hidden reason that often surprises people. This one affects millions of adults, yet many don't connect it with morning fatigue. Reason number 6. Your blood sugar may be rising and falling more than you realize. When people hear the words blood sugar, they often think only about diabetes, but blood sugar influences everyone's energy. Every time you eat, your body turns much of that food into glucose, a simple sugar that your cells use as fuel. A hormone called insulin helps move that glucose from the bloodstream into your cells where it can be used for energy. Sometimes this process doesn't work as smoothly. Blood sugar may stay higher than normal, or it may rise quickly after meals before dropping again. Both situations can leave you feeling tired. Some people wake up feeling drained because their blood sugar has been elevated overnight. Others experience fatigue after eating because their blood sugar changes rapidly. Additional symptoms may include increased thirst, frequent urination, blurry vision, slow healing cuts, or unexplained weight changes. However, some people notice almost no symptoms at all. That's one reason routine health checkups are so valuable. Simple blood tests can often identify blood sugar problems long before serious complications develop. Take Susan, age 69. She noticed she needed a nap almost every afternoon and often woke up feeling exhausted. She thought retirement had simply made her less active. At her annual physical, routine blood work showed that her blood sugar was higher than expected. Working with her healthcare team, she made gradual changes to her eating habits, increased her daily walking, and followed the treatment plan recommended for her. Over time, she noticed a meaningful improvement in her energy. What can help support healthy blood sugar? Eating balanced meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Choosing whole grains more often than highly processed carbohydrates. Limiting sugary drinks and desserts. Staying physically active. Maintaining a healthy weight if recommended by your healthcare provider, and keeping up with regular medical appointments. Remember, these habits support overall health whether or not you have diabetes. Here's another interesting point. Sometimes morning fatigue has nothing to do with sleep, hydration, medications, or nutrition. Instead, it may begin with something much smaller, tiny changes happening inside your thyroid gland. Most people rarely think about the thyroid, yet this small, butterfly-shaped gland located in the front of your neck acts almost like your body's thermostat and energy manager. When it's not working properly, the effects can be felt throughout your entire body. We'll explore that hidden cause next, along with another surprisingly common condition that quietly reduces energy by limiting how much oxygen your body can carry. Both are frequently overlooked, especially during the early stages, but recognizing them early can make an important difference. So, if you've been wondering why you still feel exhausted even after improving your sleep and daily habits, you'll definitely want to keep watching. Let's continue with 2 more hidden reasons that can quietly leave many older adults feeling tired every morning. By now, you may have noticed something important. Morning fatigue usually doesn't have just one possible cause. It's often the result of several small changes working together. That's why it's so important not to assume that feeling exhausted every day is simply a normal part of getting older. Sometimes the answer is surprisingly simple. Other times, it requires a medical evaluation to uncover what's happening beneath the surface. Let's look at another common but often overlooked cause. Reason number 7, an underactive thyroid. The thyroid is a small, butterfly-shaped gland located at the front of your neck. Even though it's small, it plays a huge role in how your body uses energy. You can think of the thyroid as your body's engine control system. When it's working well, your body has the right pace for burning energy. But when the thyroid becomes underactive, a condition called hypothyroidism, many of your body's processes begin to slow down. That slower pace can affect almost everything. You may feel tired even after a full night's sleep. You might feel colder than other people. Your skin may become dry. Your hair may thin. You could notice constipation, weight gain, slower thinking, or a low mood. Because these symptoms often develop gradually, many people simply blame aging. Months or even years may pass before someone realizes there's another explanation. Let's imagine Carol, age 71. She had always been active. She enjoyed gardening, walking with friends, and babysitting her grandchildren. Over time, she noticed she was becoming unusually tired. She also found herself wearing a sweater while everyone else seemed comfortable. She assumed she was just slowing down. During a routine checkup, her healthcare provider ordered a simple blood test that showed her thyroid wasn't producing enough hormone. With appropriate treatment and follow-up, her energy gradually improved. Not every case of fatigue is caused by thyroid problems, but because thyroid disorders become more common with age, especially among women, it's something healthcare providers often consider when evaluating ongoing tiredness. The good news is that thyroid function can usually be checked with a simple blood test. If you've noticed persistent fatigue along with several of the symptoms we mentioned, it's worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Now here's something equally important. Even if your thyroid is working perfectly, your body still needs enough oxygen to create energy. If oxygen delivery is reduced, fatigue often follows. That brings us to our next hidden reason. Reason number 8, anemia. Anemia is a condition in which your blood doesn't have enough healthy red blood cells or enough hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen throughout your body. Think of red blood cells as tiny delivery trucks. Their job is to transport oxygen from your lungs to every organ, every muscle, and every cell. If there aren't enough trucks on the road, or if they aren't carrying enough oxygen, your body has to work much harder just to perform everyday tasks. The result is often constant tiredness. Many people with anemia describe feeling as though their energy disappears quickly. Simple activities like climbing stairs, walking through a grocery store, or making the bed may suddenly feel much harder than before. Other symptoms may include shortness of breath with activity, dizziness, pale skin, cold hands and feet, a rapid heartbeat, or difficulty concentrating. Anemia has many possible causes. Some people don't get enough iron. Others have low vitamin B12 or folate. Certain chronic illnesses can contribute. In some cases, slow blood loss from the digestive tract may be responsible. That's why it's important not to assume the cause. Instead, healthcare providers usually recommend blood tests to identify what's happening. Let's look at another example. James, age 77, noticed he was becoming exhausted after his usual morning walk. He blamed retirement and age. But when his fatigue continued to worsen, his doctor ordered blood work. The results showed anemia. Once the underlying cause was identified and treated, James gradually regained much of his energy. The key lesson is this: fatigue is a symptom. Anemia is one possible reason. Finding the underlying cause is what matters most. That's why self-diagnosing with iron supplements isn't always the right answer. In fact, taking iron when you don't need it can sometimes be harmful. Always let your healthcare provider determine whether supplementation is appropriate. Now let's shift from medical conditions to something that's becoming increasingly common in modern life. It doesn't show up on a blood test. It often develops slowly, and many people don't recognize it until it begins affecting both their body and their mind. Reason number 9, stress, anxiety, and depression. When people think about depression, they often imagine someone who feels deeply sad all the time. But in older adults, depression doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it appears mainly as fatigue, low motivation, poor sleep, loss of interest in favorite activities, difficulty concentrating, or feeling emotionally flat. Similarly, ongoing stress and anxiety keep the body's stress response activated. Your brain remains alert even when you're trying to rest. Muscles stay tense, sleep becomes lighter, recovery becomes less complete. Imagine trying to recharge your phone while dozens of apps continue running in the background. The battery charges much more slowly. Your body experiences something similar when stress continues day after day. Older adults may experience stress from many different life changes: retirement, financial concerns, caring for a spouse, living with chronic pain, loss of close friends, grief after losing a partner, changes in independence, moving to a new home, health worries. Even positive life changes can create emotional stress. Consider Helen, age 75. After losing her husband, she found herself waking up exhausted every morning. She assumed her body was failing. Eventually, she shared her feelings with her healthcare provider. Together, they recognized that grief and depression were playing an important role in her fatigue. With counseling, support from family, regular walking, and an appropriate treatment plan, Helen slowly began feeling like herself again. The important message is this: mental health is part of physical health. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a step toward healing. If you've been feeling persistently sad, hopeless, unusually anxious, or you've lost interest in activities you once enjoyed, don't keep those feelings to yourself. Talk with someone you trust. Reach out to your healthcare provider. Support is available, and many people improve with the right combination of care. Now, before we move into the final part of today's video, here's something many viewers may find surprising. Some of the biggest energy drains have nothing to do with disease at all. Instead, they come from small, daily habits that quietly steal strength over months and years. In the final part, we'll explore those hidden lifestyle factors, including one of the most overlooked reasons older adults lose energy without realizing it. We'll also put everything together into a simple daily action plan, review the most important warning signs that deserve medical attention, and finish with practical steps you can start using as early as tomorrow morning to help support better energy and healthier aging. Now let's finish today's discussion by looking at some of the most overlooked everyday habits that can quietly drain your energy over time. These may not sound dramatic, but together they can have a surprisingly large impact on how you feel when you wake up each morning. Reason number 10, you're moving less than your body needs. This may sound backwards. If you're already tired, wouldn't more rest help? Not always. While your body certainly needs adequate rest, too much sitting can actually make you feel even more tired. Think about how you feel after spending an entire day sitting in a chair watching television. Many people notice they feel stiff, sluggish, and less energetic. Now compare that with how you feel after taking a comfortable walk outside, stretching gently, or working in the garden for a little while. Although you used energy during the activity, many people actually feel more awake afterward. That's because regular movement improves blood circulation, helps deliver oxygen to your muscles and brain, supports heart health, and encourages better sleep at night. It also helps maintain muscle strength, which naturally declines with age if it isn't used regularly. This age-related muscle loss is called sarcopenia. Simply put, it means that muscles gradually become smaller and weaker over time. Without regular activity, everyday tasks begin requiring more effort. Walking across a parking lot, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, even standing up from a chair. The harder these activities become, the more tired you may feel. The encouraging news is that muscle strength can often improve at almost any age. Research has shown that older adults can benefit from appropriate strength training, balance exercises, and regular walking, even if they begin later in life. That doesn't mean everyone should suddenly start an intense workout program. Instead, begin where you are. If your healthcare provider says it's safe, try adding a short daily walk. Practice standing up from a sturdy chair several times. Use light resistance bands. Stretch gently. Garden. Dance. Play with your grandchildren. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is consistency. Even 10 or 15 minutes of movement each day can become the foundation for healthier aging. Now let's talk about another habit that quietly affects millions of older adults. Reason number 11. Your daily routine is working against your body's natural clock. Your body follows an internal 24-hour rhythm called the circadian rhythm. Think of it as your body's natural schedule. It helps decide when you feel awake, when you become sleepy, when hormones are released, even when your body temperature changes. As we age, this internal clock often becomes more sensitive. Small changes in routine can have a much bigger effect than they once did. For example, going to bed at very different times each night. Watching television late into the evening. Using bright phones or tablets in bed. Sleeping for several hours during the afternoon. Drinking caffeinated beverages too late in the day. All of these habits may make it harder for your brain to settle into healthy sleep. One helpful approach is creating a simple evening routine. Dim the lights about an hour before bed. Turn off electronic screens if possible. Read a book. Listen to calming music. Practice slow breathing. Keep your bedroom cool, quiet, and comfortable. Wake up at roughly the same time each morning, even on weekends. Morning sunlight is another powerful tool. Stepping outside for 15 to 30 minutes after waking helps reinforce your body's natural clock. Many people are surprised by how much this simple habit improves both daytime energy and nighttime sleep over several weeks. Now, here's our final hidden reason. It's something many people overlook because it develops so gradually. Reason number 12. Your body may be trying to tell you that another medical condition is developing. Persistent morning fatigue can sometimes be an early symptom of several health conditions, including heart disease, chronic kidney disease, chronic lung disease, autoimmune conditions, certain infections, some cancers, or other medical problems. This doesn't mean fatigue automatically signals a serious illness. Far from it. Most cases have more common explanations. However, fatigue that is severe, persistent, or accompanied by other concerning symptoms deserves medical attention. Please contact your healthcare provider promptly if you notice fatigue along with chest pain, difficulty breathing, fainting, unexplained weight loss, blood in the stool or urine, persistent fever, confusion, sudden weakness, or major changes in memory. These symptoms should never be ignored. Your body is remarkably good at sending signals when something isn't right. The key is learning to listen. Now let's put everything we've discussed into one simple daily action plan. If you've been waking up tired most mornings, here are several practical steps you can begin discussing with your healthcare provider and incorporating into your routine. First, make sleep a priority. Aim for a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. Create a calm bedtime routine. Address pain, noise, or other sleep disruptions whenever possible. Second, stay hydrated throughout the day unless you've been instructed to limit fluids for a medical reason. Small amounts of water throughout the day are often better than waiting until you're very thirsty. Third, eat balanced meals that include enough protein, colorful vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and whole grains. Fuel your body consistently instead of skipping meals. Fourth, move your body every day. Choose activities you enjoy. Walking, stretching, swimming, gardening, chair exercises, light strength training. The best exercise is often the one you'll continue doing. Fifth, review your medications regularly with your healthcare provider or pharmacist. Never stop medications on your own, but don't hesitate to ask questions if you think something may be affecting your energy. Sixth, keep up with routine medical checkups. Simple blood tests can sometimes identify thyroid problems, anemia, vitamin deficiencies, diabetes, or other conditions before they become more serious. Seventh, pay attention to your emotional health. Stay connected with family and friends. Join community activities. Talk openly about stress, anxiety, grief, or depression. Your emotional well-being matters just as much as your physical health. Finally, remember this important message. Growing older does not automatically mean feeling exhausted every morning. Yes, aging brings changes, but many causes of fatigue can be improved, managed, or treated once they're identified. You don't have to simply accept constant tiredness as your new normal. Instead, think of fatigue as valuable information. It's your body's way of asking you to pay attention. Sometimes the solution is as simple as improving sleep, drinking more water, eating better, or becoming more active. Other times, it's a reminder that it's time to schedule a conversation with your healthcare provider. Either way, understanding the possible reasons behind your fatigue is the first step toward feeling better. Let's quickly review what we've covered today. We explored how poor sleep quality can leave you exhausted even after spending enough hours in bed. We discussed sleep apnea and why interrupted breathing during sleep often goes unnoticed. We talked about nutrition, including the importance of protein and key vitamins. We looked at dehydration and how aging changes your sense of thirst. We covered medication side effects and why regular medication reviews are so valuable. We explained how blood sugar changes can affect your energy. We discussed thyroid problems and anemia. We explored how stress, anxiety, and depression may show up as physical fatigue. We talked about the importance of daily movement and protecting muscle strength. We discussed healthy routines that support your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. And finally, we reviewed when ongoing fatigue may signal a health condition that deserves medical evaluation. If there's one message to remember from today's video, let it be this. Don't ignore what your body is trying to tell you. Small symptoms often provide important clues. Paying attention today may help you stay healthier, stronger, and more independent in the years ahead. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. If you found this video helpful, we hope you'll continue learning with us as we explore more simple, practical ways to support healthy aging. Now we'd love to hear from you. How old are you, and which of today's hidden reasons surprised you the most? Have you found a morning habit that helps you wake up feeling more refreshed? Please share your experience in the comments below. Your story may encourage someone else who is going through the same thing. And if you know a friend, neighbor, or family member who often says they're tired every morning, consider sharing this video with them. It could help start an important conversation. Thank you again for watching. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.